1.6 kilograms chicken breast was originally £7.99 on my receipt, but now after only 3 months, the price for the exact same thing is now £9.35. So yes, the rise of living costs has definitely risen a lot. If you earn 30k annually, you will have to pay around 20% of the income tax, which means the actual amount of money that will arrive in your account every month is around 2k. To sum up, I spent £1,053 this month. I didn't include any travel expenses because this really varies from month to month. Again, this video is really based on my personal spending habits and really varies from different lifestyles. Hi, I'm Ashley. Welcome to my channel. As you can probably guess from the title, today I'm gonna break down how much I actually spend living in London in a month. I wanted to do this video because whenever I tell people I'm now living in London, the next question will be, oh, how much do you actually spend living in London? Do you get to save any money? How much do you spend on your rent? And I heard the living cost has risen a lot. How much do you actually spend on food? And also now inflation as well. How are you coping with it? Do you get to save any money living in London? So that's why I want to put this video together to give you guys an idea of how much you probably will spend living in London in a month. If you find this video helpful, please like and subscribe to my channel. Living in London can sound glamorous. It's one of the biggest cities in the world. It has so much to offer. To be honest, I didn't think I would love living in London so much before I moved here. But just because there's so many things you can do in London, that also means there's so many things you can spend your money on. And trust me, they do not come cheap at all. So let's start from rent, my biggest expense every month. When I first started looking, I was originally looking for a studio, but found out it was just too expensive and I couldn't afford it. To give you an idea, a studio in London costs around £1,300 a month and a one-bedroom flat costs around £1,700. So yeah, couldn't afford that. So I now share a house with 3 other girls, and living in the smallest room, I now pay £650 a month. I know, you might say, why do you need to live in central London? You do get cheaper options living further away, but when it comes to space and location, I would always prioritize location, just because I love to have the option to walk to places as well. The house I'm living in now is just on the edge of Zone 1, which allows me to walk to work when I need to. And most of the time, I meet up with my friend in central London as well. Sometimes I would just walk there as well. So that really saves me a lot of money on transportation. It's healthy, you save money, and you buy bubble tea on your way as well. So moving on to utilities. You may have heard energy prices in the UK have increased by 54% this April. I have to say, this expense really varies from how many people you're sharing it with and how you guys are using it. In our case, we are mostly out of the house in the daytime and are quite careful when it comes to energy usage. Our monthly gas and electricity bills comes up to £30 per person per month. That means we spend around £120 on electricity and gas as a household. We didn't have to pay for water, but if you do, it's relatively quite cheap, and most of the time it's already included in your rent. Next is council tax. Council tax is the money you pay to your local council, who takes care of libraries, road impairment, bin collecting, and things like street cleaning. So how the council tax is calculated is actually by how valuable the place you're renting is. As you can probably imagine, the more valuable the place you're renting is, the more you will have to pay. The average council tax for one household is around 150 to 200. So if you live in the one-bedroom flat alone, you will have to pay 150 by yourself. But if you do share a two-bedroom flat with your flatmate, then you can split the cost between you two, so potentially around 100 per person, which actually makes quite a big difference. So make sure you check how much you will have to pay your council tax before you actually move into a place. We are quite lucky because our landlord just take care of this, so my bill for council tax is 0. Moving on to transportation. Tube tickets vary from zone to zone. Every tube fare is £2.50 during peak hours and £1 less during non-peak hours. And every bus fare is £1.50. To give you a better idea, if you live in Zone 1 and your office is also in Zone 1, you can easily spend around £100 just commuting to work every month. Only using the tube when I need to, my monthly bill for this category comes up to around £30 per month. Moving on to groceries, I have to say, I think groceries is not as expensive comparing to other expenses. And if you do cook every day, you can definitely save a lot of money. I love cooking and I do cook and go to the supermarket maybe every other day. So my monthly bill for this category comes up to £126. But I do want to also mention that this category is where I see the rise of living costs rise the most. For instance, I've noticed on my receipt, a pack of 1.6 kilograms chicken breast was originally £7.99 on my receipt. But now, after only 3 months, the price for the exact same thing is now £9.35. So yes, the rise of living costs has definitely risen a lot. Next is eating out and socializing. I put them in the same bucket because I usually only eat out when I'm meeting with friends or when I'm traveling. Actually, that's a lie. I also eat out when I'm really craving for really good Chinese cuisine or when I pass by a bubble tea shop, which costs me around £5 per drink. For anyone who doesn't know, a cup of bubble tea back in Taiwan is around £1.50. So to give you an idea, you can easily spend more than £50 dining out in London. And if you're meeting up with a friend for a drink is around £8. So the total amount of money I spent on this category is £98. Moving on to other expenses. This category includes things like shoppings, entertainment costs, attraction tickets, and subscriptions. Basically, I just dumped them all in one category because these expenses are seen as want but not need expenses. I also don't really limit my budget here because most of the time it's visiting new places, experiencing something new. With that being said, these expenses do not come cheap as well. To give you an idea, I saw Wicked the other day, which cost me around £30. And I'm going to visit the Parliament this weekend, which is £26. And when they all add up, it's not a small number. My total expense for this month in this category is £119. I also want to talk about income tax and national insurance. They don't really count as expenses as they are taken away from your salary every month before they arrive at your account. But to give you an idea, if you earn 30k annually, you will have to pay around 20% of the income tax, which means the actual amount of money that will arrive in your account every month is around 2k. To sum up, I spent £1,053 this month. I didn't include any travel expenses because this really varies from month to month. Again, this video is really based on my personal spending habits and really varies from different lifestyles. I hope this video gives you an idea of how much you would probably spend living in London. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye!